we have an event of yoga competition is it's performing, and we are being happy to associate it with a government sector for this session. With respect to Dr. Abdul Muhammad Sir, Sir is an keynote member for an educational sector global wise, founder, executive president, Africa Asia Scholars Global Network, ASCON, United Kingdom. He is also a key member in various policy decisions of various countries. Even he has given some recommendations to United Nations, and recently he has been active participation in development of African countries and collaborating in Asia-Africa collaboration. And we are happy that we have been able to participate in the initiatives, and we are open-minded and open-hearted to support your activities, sir. And we wholeheartedly welcome for your presence. And you are a multidisciplinary personality who is an icon of an education sector. As we can say, you are a stalwart for all those things, and we are proud to welcome you for this International Online Yoga Conference 2020. And Sir has visited our platform during last month in our Global Higher Education Summit 2020. He has addressed on the title of Global Higher Education Scenario. Sir is an Dr. Abdul Diwali Muhammad is a global strategic management, public relations, and marketing consultant, a prolific entrepreneur, renowned public speaker, mentor, author, publisher, and philanthropist. He is born in July 4th, 1955, a British citizen and Nigerian by birth. He is the founder and group of executive president of Africa Asia Scholars Global Network, ASCON, the founder and executive chairman of the Global South Economic Forum, GSEF. He is the founder of the Africa Arab Asia Pacific University, President FAAPUP, and ADM is a signatory to the United Nations Global Compact, member of UK Stakeholders for Sustainable Development, affiliate member of International Association of Universities, member European Alliance for Innovation, strategic partner, Danube's Academic Consortium, and advisory council member, Association of Universities in Asia and Pacific. He is a study campaigner of the Bandung Principle of 1955 Asia-Africa Conference, the South-South Cooperation, and even Sustainable Development Goals. ADM's Abdul Diwali Muhammad's most recent report to the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres, along with his proposal for measures required to rebuild the bricks of a fractured world as a divided world, as a proclaimed by World Economic Forum in 2018, which can be obtained in the UN official site. He has been representing United Kingdom, 10 countries in Southeast and Asia, Africa, and AD Muhammad was in 2002 appointed as strategic business and marketing consultant by the UN head office, New York-based World Energy Forum. And he is the founder of Africa Child Association and African Children's Strategic Alliance and ACA Social Enterprise as a children's rights advocate and social entrepreneur well acknowledged by the UK government. ADM in 2005 established a multi-purpose social enterprise center in Westminster, the heart of city of London. He has been actively involving in various activities across the globe, and his bold effort at advancing human capital and extensively promotes sustainable development towards ensuring that northern Nigeria is not left behind Nigeria's development. He established an Arriva Industry Business and Education Council, which is a partnership with the New Nigeria Development Corporation. And we are happy that we have been having an international personality and stalwart in our profile. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. I'm honored.
Yeah, Abdul sir, please take over the session, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Oh, now, thank you very much. I mean, that was, I mean, you could have just taken 1 second just to introduce I am. I'm just no one, but I really appreciate
it's our responsibility to make to the different participants across the globe, sir. It's our responsibilities to say about our stalwart.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. But we'll continue to give service to humanity.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for inviting me to this conference, which is very important considering that tomorrow will be the 6th International Yoga Day. First is that we will continue, my organization, the Africa Asia Scholars Global Network, and also the Global South Economic Forum will continue to work very closely with AVIT. We are very impressed about the great things you've been doing over the years, particularly even during this COVID, because I've been very much aware about a number of events that you've held. And I hope that a lot of people have taken a lot of knowledge to be able to at least improve on either the education or the standards of living, particularly like this yoga you have. But before I go on, I want to also commend our representative there, Dr. Kumar from Ayush, to have taken his time out of very tight schedule to have honored AVIT for this very important day. So I really welcome you on behalf of AVIT, Dr. Kumar. I just welcome you, Dr. Kumar, from Ayush.
Sachin, sir. Dr. Sachin?
Yeah, I've just welcomed him to the event. Yeah. Now, because I felt I need to recognize him for the fact that the Indian government, I think, should be commended for having to set up a ministry for Ayush. And I think most of other countries need to follow. So I really commend the government for setting up Ayush. And we know it's an ancient Indian practice about yoga. When you mention yoga, you talk about India. But however, I'm glad that the United Nations or the internationally now, yoga is being recognized. And if not for the lockdown, the COVID-19, I believe that there'll be so much great activities and festivities in India today. Probably I will have joined you two also there. So when I was asked by my very good friend, Professor, very, very active and infatigable professor, to have asked me to participate, first of all was that, what am I going to say? But everybody, no matter whatever age you are, there's no age barrier when it comes to yoga. So as a child, as a youth, as a young person, and even as a very old age, you can still very much have yoga. But it's always very good when actually it starts at a youthful age, because we know that yoga helps a lot when it comes to flexibility of the body itself. So, but it's never late. I used to play a lot of sports. I used to do polo, summer polo. I did a little bit of polo. I used to play a lot of rugby then, some years back, and I also play table tennis. I play football. I like football. I like swimming, and play table tennis. So when the movement of the body, because some feel it's only when you have to put your hand up and then you have to, they feel it's only in one stature, or in one status you have to stay when you do yoga. But it's different aspects of which you can do yoga. So I think greatly that it's important that yoga is made worldwide. The fact that even a sixth, I think this should have been many years back, we'll have had it internationally. And with what AVIT is doing to promote yoga today, it's also part of the great thing that Ayush is doing, that is the ministry. And I know that with the internet, with the Indian cultural, what will I call it, the Indian Council for Cultural Relations, I think both Ayush and them have come up with what is called My Life, My Yoga. And I believe that that My Life, My Yoga should be something not only because it's a lockdown, although lockdown, the COVID has made the council, and the Ayush ministry to come together and say, My Life, My Yoga. I think it should be something that should be general, because I know that myself and my wife, we always say one thing there is that, before you have your breakfast, you have to hand it. And what do you mean by before you have a breakfast, you hand it? Because if you eat, you're going to put on some, the calories and whatever you're going to have on. So, which means that you have to probably either take a walk or cycle, or do some sort of exercise before you eat. Because if you just go on and eat, it's just like they say, when you eat in the morning, eat like a king. When you eat in the afternoon, eat very well, but not that too much. But at night, eat like a pauper, So it's all about having a very, what I call it, a very strict mind and being active. And like, it's also apart from mental health, also we have look at the physical health. So it's something which we should live with, And I know that particularly that yoga is coming even at the time of feast. In England here, and which I know many other countries, apart from the fact that you're allowed to go out there and buy if you need some food stuff, that you have to get some food stuff to buy, which is an essential, or you have to get medications, which are also essential. But also the fact that you have to go out and exercise is also very essential, because the state of mind or mental health, it could also help improve issue of the health of people, the mindset and whatever thing that you think about. So basically, there's so much for my organization, the Africa. I'm very glad that Professor Mona, we've spoken about this, how we can extend, how we can work together to extend practice of yoga internationally, because our organization, the African Asian Scholars Global Network, along with the Arab Asian universities, the Asia Pacific universities, and also the African universities, which will be coming together in January in Dubai. We should be setting up what we call the Forum of Africa, Arab, Asia Pacific University Presidents. And one of the key things we're going to introduce to this forum is to ensure that every university could take on board, a practice of yoga, and also we find that we have to look at it in terms of the primary, the junior schools, the colleges. These are practice, even you have to go as far, look at some of us probably we sit on our computer maybe for hours on end, and I think sometimes we take a time off, and even in companies, in industries, I think it's good if they can also give some time. Maybe if you come in the morning, I know probably you will be exhausted. Sometimes some of you have to travel about 30 minutes or an hour or 2 hours to get to work. When you get there, you know how the body itself. But I think if companies, industries could allow at least 30, when you come to work, they give you 30 minutes to practice yoga, do certain movement of your practice, whatever. I think that is going to also help the what would I call it? It will increase and improve performance, because the body itself is getting tired by the time you get to work. But so by the time you have the exercise, it will actually stimulate, the minds, and it will help the mental alertness of people. I think it's very key, and that's why I commend the ICCR and the Minister of Ayush for coming to my life, my yoga, my life. It should be, it's not just for the issue of lockdown, but that is a good thing that at least has come out of the COVID pandemic. So I have not much to say than to commend the efforts of the organizers. For many days now, you've been having very special experts on this field. I'm an expert in yoga, but I know that I try to do maybe about, if I try to maybe 10,000 steps. I try to do that every day. Sometimes I miss it, but when I miss it, it's like, oh, something is missing in me. And so when you want to eat, you then want to guide the kind of calories you're having, so that you can be, at least be fit to do things. And it's, like I said, it's mentally and physically, it's always very good to exercise. And yoga is a very fun, because most people outside India, we're all naive. We thought, oh, yoga is just an Indian thing. It's a human being thing. It's a human thing. It's not just about India. It's just that India is so lucky that the elders have kept it as a tradition. It's been an Asian thing, and that's why I commend the leaders, the elders, AVIT elders in India, for keeping it up and making the young ones, the families, to take this as a practice, as a part of their life. So I think everybody, wherever you live on this planet Earth, need to at least consider, because like we say, health is wealth. Health is wealth. If you're not healthy, then what's the point of all the monies you have in the world? The money can people can help you. They can help you to wash your cars, clean your properties or whatever you have. But when it comes to you, they can't help you to. You have to survive it, so you have to live it by yourself. So it's always good that no matter what age anybody is, it's important to take it very, make it a routine that you have to, and almost even for this COVID, And I know that when we all know it, we all know it. Like here in the UK, we've had a lot of, most of the people that died through this COVID has been people of minority ethnic group. And the fact that we have quite a large number of people that have died through it is because of the immunity, the lack of immunity. And what happened is that most of them, they have to work, from morning till night because they have to feed their families, they have to give them good education. And not only the people here, they have to send money home, to their countries, to their, because in Africa, in Asia, we have, what do you call it? We have very large family, unlike most people who are here, who probably, I will use probably example, the whites, I will say, very not as much large family setup you have. But from Africa, Asia, who are here, they have a lot of people home. So they have to work extra hard to take care of the children here and also send something back home to their family. So they work extra hard. And when they do that, which means they will lack the immunity in them. So, but if there is, well, we're hoping that the government of the UK will try to listen and help to ensure that the wages of the people at least they put some, increase the wages so that people can able to have some time to also exercise, and not to work all night, because it's unfortunate that a lot of people do that. So exercise is very important. So because most of these people here who are Blacks or who are Asians did not have that immunity, because most of the time they're busy and the body needs to rest. And when there's no exercise and everything, only when they get home, they're tired, they just go straight to bed. They can exercise in the morning, they have to get up in the car in order to meet, the appointments. So these are things that the government it has to be regulations. I'm glad that they take very importantly in India, and I hope that in India, they will start to ensure that even in companies, people get to work, they give them 30 minutes. It has to go to about even primary, secondary, or universities. It has to be a practice. And similarly, we hope that with what I've just mentioned to you about our plan as an organization, get the organization where we have that structure, because what we're trying to do is to set up structures so that those structures can at least maintain, because good health is very important. So a healthy nation is a wealthy nation. So we're hoping that society wake up. And I want to commend that at least this is the sixth international event, and I hope it will be much greater. And we need to create more awareness. The more we can create awareness, the better for the wealth of the society, of the world entirely. So if we now know that there's a lot of deficit, because of the pandemic of COVID, deficit in the sense that there's no problem, there are a lot of debts that government has to find a way to recoup money back. But at the end of the day, we should also be very careful, to ensure that people still have the time to exercise. And yoga is a form of ensure, because if they're not healthy, so what do you expect? Now, look at just even COVID alone, how much, everybody is, but and the only way COVID can succeed is because people lack immunity. So if you like, that's what they say, the elderly, the young ones, they had no problem. Most of them were very healthy. And so they could not. So if we learn from that, then that tells us that that's simple exercise. It's not a matter of just wash your hand, and then, what do you call it? You keep the space, but you also have to make sure that you exercise. That itself should be a daily routine. And so and then what you eat, what will you drink, and also it depends also the government, although I know some governments are doing it by trying to, legislate on the food production, because the companies have to make money. Even now, the companies, there's going to be a lot of problems, which with all governments all over the world has to be ready, because the businesses are there to make profit. And most of the businesses now, they've lost so much money. And how are they going to get it back? We know that a lot of people are losing their jobs. So companies want to make profit. A lot of them will maximize profit rather than look at the health of the people. What they want is just what they can make money. So the adverts that we give on television and the rest of it, where, products that will, end of the day, will be detrimental to the health of people, how do we make sure that we control it? So the government has to be very strong in area of legislation in terms of the kind of things that are being produced, and given to and then sold in the public. That is also an area that I think experts should look at, the government should look at, because a lot of junks are going to come out. A lot of people are going to eat it. At the end of the day, we're going to have a lot more problems. So exercise is very important, and eating healthy is very, very important. So I have not much to say, but to say that it's been wonderful that you asked me to come and speak. And like I said, it's an area where, because before this conference, I've spoken to my very good friend, Professor Noah, about how we can work together and sit internationally and work with the university or the AVIT University, how we can work together, to ensure that internationally it becomes a norm that every school, every college, every university, even companies will have to ensure when you come in 30 minutes, at least 30 minutes, because at the end of the day, if you do that, it means that there'll be more productivity in whatever we do. But when we don't do it, well, it's our loss. I say, oh, if I give them 30 minutes, I'm going to pay them. For God's sake, you get more from them if you give them that 30 minutes an hour just to be able to at least do some, exercise through yoga. And I think that is the only way. So how this can be done in a way that I know that a lot of people are trying to promote it, whatever, but we have to legislate to ensure and encourage, and let people understand, the benefits. If they don't understand it, then what do we say? So a few things which I just took note of, which I just want to mention, which I'm sure most of us know about. I know it increases flexibility, like I mentioned earlier, it helps the body, and then your muscle strength, which is still part of your muscle strength, is quite very flexible. It helps a lot. And then you look at also respiration. We talk about respiration now, we talk about COVID. So it's part of the problem of respiration. So if, as I mentioned, that by doing yoga, it means that your respiration will be quite very good. So you don't need to be looking for ventilators and all whatnot, because, so with yoga, it helps our immunity to have that. And I also know that, it gives you energy, vitality, you have the strength to do a lot of things. So there's so much gains and benefit to us. It's about how we live, and we talk about people, obesity and the rest of it. It's because people are not watchful, or some of them, it's not that they wouldn't have done it, but because we're not given that education or enlightened about the detriments or the what would I call it, disadvantages of having to just take it without being cautious. And it's sometimes a mindset. It's about psychologically, it's the mindset, and how we can help that, I think is very, and also, a lot of people who do it, you can see it helps in weight reduction. It's to reduce the weight. So it's not a matter of having to take a medication. You don't need medication. All this is just about exercise. Yoga, you don't need medications. So the more we do it, the less, like I said earlier, the healthier, the much wealthy our society will become. And even when you are an athlete, definitely if you do yoga more, then, it definitely will. And one of the most important things is about discipline. And it's about discipline of the mind. And when you have people who are disciplined, it goes about even being cultured, because being cultured is that you have discipline. So it also helps in terms of discipline, and it helps to have an humane society, and it's true that you can go into your mental, physical, whatever, and you start thinking about, because sometimes they say in every day, you must at least about maybe an hour or 30 minutes just on your own, just sit down, do nothing, just think about yourself. Think, because sometimes I say, if only maybe our heads become an app, maybe people will start thinking, because most of us don't think. Even we don't even know who we are. That is great. That is the worst problem that we have. A lot of us don't even know who we are. When you don't know what you are, when you don't know why you're in this world, you should just do things. So I think that it's quite not right at all. So people need to be more aware about themselves and take very good care of them. And I think yoga is one of the essence or ways in which people can really live a very healthy, a very worthy, and a very fruitful life. So I won't want to say much, but thank you very much, my fellow colleagues there, for giving me time to speak to you. And I'm sure that a lot of people have said even more than me. I've said a lot, and I would like to continue to join you to see how we can ensure that people can see the great benefits, by at least taking time to exercise. I've said if you sit and you start using computer, most of us sit on a computer. I'm probably one of the, what will I call it? Because I could sit on a computer for minutes. But then one is being cautious because a lot of things that does not help you when you just sit on a computer, and now you have tables here in England, I'm sure probably in other countries, other places. They should make tables. You see, we always have a table. Now we make tables that the tables can be raised up and you can still work on your computer. So at that period, all you do is after a few hours of typing, you raise the table, the table goes up, and you stand up, and you can still work on your computer. So in most companies now, we have that. Not all companies, but this is something which also the government should legislate, that in companies where they use computers, where people have to sit down in order to be able to do their job, those tables they use should be adaptable, where they can raise the table up, and so that they can rise up, maybe when you sit down for 6 hours, 5 hours, 7 hours, after 2 hours or whatever, you can raise the table up and you can still walk and you still feel good. Then you sit down again. So I think that will help the body. But if you do that every day, you imagine the dangers that you're doing to yourself. So I think this, and government is there, the Ministry of Health is there, and I'm very glad that the government in India established a ministry like Ayush. And I believe that Ayush will probably look at some of the recommendations I've given. And if the areas we need to work together, the organization, the African Asia Scholars Global Network, is very ready to work with them because we believe in good health. I want to thank you very much, and I will stay with you, and hope I'll learn more from the coming speakers. Thank you very much, and thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And thank you, Dr. Abdul. Thank you, sir. It was really a heartfelt speech what you gave. You spoke from your heart.
Hello.
Thank you for it. And
hello.
Yeah,
sir, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. We are hearing you. We are hearing you.
Hello.
Yeah, we are hearing you, sir. We are hearing you. Sir,
Can
next.
anybody hear me?
Yeah. Sir, next session.
Hello.
Yeah, due to running out of time, already delay by 20
Dr.
minutes.
Babu?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you for a wonderful.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. We can hear you.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
hello?
Sir. We can hear you.
Yes.
Yeah, I think.
Hello?
I think sir has some technical issue in hearing
problem.
us. So we will move on to the next session as we are running out of time. I now request
hello?
ma'am to please
hello?
use Dr. Sachin.
Abdul, sir, we can able to hear you.
Hello?
Angel ma'am, please introduce Dr. Sachin.
Yeah. Am I audible now, sir?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello?
Sir, what about Abdul, sir?
Don't worry. I
Okay.
will speak personally.
Okay, sir. So good evening to all the participants. It's my privilege to brief about Dr. Sachin Kumar. He is the research officer of Ayurveda, Ministry of Ayush, Government of India. He has completed BAMS from CSJM University of Kanpur. He did house physician from LH State Ayurveda Postgraduate College from Uttar Pradesh. He did MD specialized in Rog Nidam from National Institute of Ayurveda from Jaipur. He is the research officer in the Ministry of Ayush. He is also in charge of Central Drug Inspector for ASU Medicines. He is a member of various joint working groups in Ministry of Ayush. He has published an article on clinical study to evaluate the efficiency of the Amrit Adi Gugulu and Navnik Gugulu on obesity in adolescents. He presented a paper on Prakriti as risk factor for obesity, made a Mandan at KLE University. He presented a clinical comparative study of Shilajit and Agni Mantir on metabolic syndrome at Mumbai. He also presented concepts of Ayurveda for longevity at Rabat, Morocco. He was a rapporteur in the National Seminar on Ayurveda for pain management organized by Ministry of Ayush on the second Ayurveda Day. He also organized a national seminar on entrepreneurship and business opportunities in Ayurveda on the occasion of third Ayurveda Day. He was also deputed as a member of delegation to represent Ministry of Ayush in Morocco Ayurveda Week, organized by Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industries. Now, I would like to call upon Dr. Sachin sir to take over the session. Dr. Sachin sir?
Dr. Sachin?
Dr. Sachin, sir?
Sachin sir is there.
Hello.
Yeah.
Chala Badram.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes,
Hello, sir?
yes,
Yes,
doctor.
sir.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, sir.
Welcome, welcome. Sir.
Respected Professor Lakshmi Mohanji,
Yes, sir.
Head CER AV Group, Dr. Abdul Mohammadji, President, Africa Asia Scholars Global Network, and dear friends, very good evening to all of you. It's my privilege to be a part of this international online yoga conference. I'm sure that this webinar will definitely help to sensitize the fraternity of practitioners, students, and foreign delegates across the globe. Combining yoga and Ayurveda in their full application to offer a complete, comprehensive healthcare system for well-being of body and mind. This international online yoga conference on the occasion of 6th Ayurveda, 6th International Day of Yoga, being organized by Vinayak Mission Research Foundation, a deemed to be university, on the topic necessity of Ayush in prevailing situation of COVID, is very much relevant, as we know that the situation of COVID is getting very worse day by day at the global level. As on date, there are more than 85 patients who have suffered from this COVID, and or those who are going under the treatment, and more than 4.5 lakh casualties have already happened due to this COVID. So organizing seminar on the necessity of Ayush in the wake of COVID is quite a relevant topic. The Indian traditional system of medicine, comprising of Ayurveda and Yoga, have age-old acceptance among the communities, not only in India, but in many other countries across the globe. Yoga and Ayurveda are not merely two separate, but related healing disciplines of India. Each has its unique place and function, but each overlaps into the other at various levels. The term yoga itself means is to unite, to combine, to integrate, and to harmonize. Yoga is the greatest gift of India to the mankind. It has got very rich tradition and culture. Yoga is deeply integrated into our day-to-day life. The declaration of International Day of Yoga by the United Nations Assembly in 2014 further accelerated the activities and the promotion of yoga for its promotion and propagation to a greater extent. Probably that is the reason why out of 193 countries in United Nations Assembly, 177 countries supported India's proposal of declaring 21st June as International Day of Yoga. And they not only supported the proposal, but they also co-sponsored this program. In the past few decades, the health aspects of yoga and Ayurveda have become more popular. People who are fed up with the intake of medicines have started to find some solution of alternative conventional mode of treatment in the form of yoga and Ayurveda. To verify this, many medical practitioners, researchers, scholars, scientists have studied the matter, and they could see that the practices of yoga and concepts of Ayurveda are having immense health benefits, particularly for lifestyle disorders such as hypertension, diabetes mellitus, and obesity. Ayurveda provides the appropriate lifestyle recommendations for yogic practice, as well as the background to unfold the full healing potential of all aspects of yoga. Combining yoga and Ayurveda can become the prime force of treatment in many of the ailments. Even in India, the National Health Policy 2017, it also speaks about the integration of these traditional system of medicines into the conventional system of medicine to come up with an integrative approach to combat the diseases. United Nations have identified 17 Sustainable Development Goals. Out of that 17 Sustainable Development Goals, SDG 2 and SDG 3, they are related to the nutrition and health and wellness for all. Ayush has a very important role to play in both the Sustainable Development Goals, that is SDG 2 and SDG 3. And I'm happy to share that Ministry has taken a lot of initiative in achieving the targets of SDG 2 and SDG 3. Now, coming to the COVID-19 crisis, it is affecting population at large in all aspects of their life and has led to the high level of psychological distress and significant impact on mental health. As I told you earlier that already there are more than 85 lakh patients of COVID who are having physical health problems due to COVID. But there are many more, maybe 85 crore and more people who are having mental problems due to the outbreak of this COVID. Especially in the vulnerable groups such as healthcare providers, elderly people who are having comorbidities, they are having a fear. They have developed a fear psychosis due to this COVID-19, which has led to the many mental ailments such as stress, anxiety, alternation in sleep cycle, like that. Rising number of COVID-19 cases and deaths possibly raises stress and anxiety, while loneliness and depressive feeling are likely to mandatory social distancing measures. Today, this COVID-19 situation has put a greater challenge for the entire medical fraternity. Consideration of mental health is another distinction of Ayurveda and Yoga. Several measures for mental health are being described, including pranayama and meditation. As we know that pranayama is known to increase the lung capacity, whereas meditation is found to reduce inflammation markers of virus-specific immune response. We all are aware that there is no proven cure of this COVID-19 as on date, and trials on various vaccines are going on across the globe. Medical fraternities in various countries, they have tried different combination, different doses of medicines, but there is no established treatment for this COVID-19 as of now. And we know that the strong immunity is the only way and the foremost weapon to succeed in this war. Therefore, in addition to the measures such as social distancing, maintaining respiratory hygiene, maintaining hand hygiene, immunity plays an important role. Natural immunity has a very important role in maintaining optimum health and thereby offering prevention from this virus. Government of India has taken many initiatives to contain the spread of COVID-19. By improving the immunity of people through Ayush systems of medicine. Ministry of Ayush had issued an advisory and has recommended self-care guidelines for the preventive health measures to fight with COVID-19. This health advisory was endorsed by Honorable Prime Minister of India on many occasions during his address to the nation on 14th of April, and later on during the Mann Ki Baat speak, he also once again endorsed the guidelines issued by the Ministry of Ayush. India is the first country to promote yoga and Ayurveda and other traditional systems of medicine such as Siddha, Unani, and homeopathy for the prevention of COVID-19. Hence, despite having world's second largest population, you can see the death toll in India is very much lesser than other countries. The ministry is engaged in developing safe and effective medicine and interventions which could be used as public health goods in the prevention and management of COVID-19. The ministry has also initiated multi-centric clinical research trials on 4 drugs from Ayurveda, which includes medical plants such as Vidania somnifera, that is ashwagandha, Tinospora cardifolia, that is Kuduchi, Lysryza glabra, that is Mulethi, and this Piper longum pipili. In addition to these 4 drugs, we are also using one formulation, which is a combination of 4 formulations, that is Ayush 64. It is developed jointly by the Central Council for Research in Ayurvedic Sciences and Council for Scientific and Industrial Research. Primarily, it is an anti-malarial drug but we are using it we, for the patients of COVID-19, and the early response is very encouraging. A study shows that the glycyrrhizin, which is an active ingredient in Glycyrrhiza glabra, which has been found very much effective than the common antivirals, inhibiting the replications. You might be knowing that there was an outbreak of SARS virus in 2014. At that time, this glycyrrhizin had been found very potent, and it actually checked the replication of virus and also inhibited the adsorption and penetration of the virus into the mucosa. And apart from all these trials, the ministry also issued an advisory which comprises that we should put oils into the nostrils. That is called the Nasya procedure, and recommended to put 2 drops of anutel in both the nostrils once in a day. This actually anutel, it coats a biofilm on the mucosal membrane, which again prevents the entry of the virus into the body. In addition to the above steps, Ministry of Ayush is also undertaking a large-scale epidemiological study to assess the possible supportive influence of Ayush medicines, which is slowing the spread and milder presentation of COVID-19 in India. The drug trials are going to be based on common national protocols, which would be followed across the country in multi-centric sites. I would like to mention that an interdisciplinary task force has also been constituted by the Ministry of Ayush to evaluate the efficacy of certain Ayurveda formulations under the chairmanship of Honorable Vice Chancellor of UGC, Professor Bhushan Patwardhanji, and the team is doing a wonderful job in looking after all these trials. Ministry of Ayush has also launched a mobile application, that is Ayush Sanjeevani, to undertake a population study on the effect of Ayush advisory and the Ayush formulation in promoting health of people through digital platform. This application can be downloaded from the Play Store, and I would request all the participants to just download this application and go through the application and submit their feedback on that particular platform. In the end, I would like to congratulate organizers for coming up with this idea of having international seminar on necessity of Ayush in present scenario. I'm sure that all the participants will be immensely benefited by the discussions and deliberations of this webinar. I wish this webinar a grand success, and hope that outcomes that emerge out of this webinar event may achieve the desired goal of vibrant health for all in the time of COVID-19. Thank you so much. Jai Hind, Jai Ayurved.
Thank you, Sachin sir. Thank you for your wonderful speech. And I know you are a very busy person. And thank you for your time also for spending with us. Sir, there are some questions to be asked. So first of all, sir, there are many yoga teachers and yoga masters here. So how to tie up with Ayush, sir? Is there any way that their center, or how to start? Is there any way Ayush can be tied up with their yoga centers?
Actually, ministry has created a yoga certification board, and those yoga practitioners who want to get attached with the Ministry of Ayush, they need to approach this yoga certification board. There is a separate yoga and naturopathy cell in the Ministry of Ayush. The details can be found on the website of the Ayush, and you can contact the concerned person there, and your queries will be answered. In addition to this, there is one toll-free number also. You can contact on that number and can get the answers of your queries.
Yeah, thank you, sir. And yesterday we had a speaker from Ghana, Samuel Sazo. He is practicing Ayurveda in Africa, actually, in Ghana.
Okay. Okay.
So what he asked is the materials or the equipment from here, you know, the medicines or the traditional items like, for example, manjal or kumkum, those things from getting there, it is very complicated process. Is there any way Ayush can help to export this Ayurvedic medicines easily to other countries? Is there any way how we can approach? Is there any way, sir?
Actually, if anybody, any manufacturer who is manufacturing Ayurveda medicines or Ayush medicines, he want to export his medicines, this first need to get this WHO COPP certificate, which is given by the DCGI. Only after availing that certificate, the medicines can be exported to other countries.
Okay, great, sir. Great, sir. So, is there any financial support will be done if someone wants to be an entrepreneur in Ayush? Like it can be any like keeping an Ayurvedic center or Siddha medicine center. Is there any support from government or to be an entrepreneur in Ayush?
Yeah. Actually, Ministry has signed an MOU with Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises to encourage entrepreneurs in Ayush sector.
Okay.
And under the MOU, both the ministries will be organizing entrepreneurship development program in various parts of the country. And in the first week of May, we had a 5-day long session for the entrepreneurs. If you talk about the schemes, yes, we are going to establish incubator centers in all the national institutes under the Ministry of Ayush. In addition to this, Ministry has also developed a champion service sector scheme, under which the financial assistance in the form of interest subsidy will be given to the applicants to establish their healthcare units.
Great, sir. Great, sir. Thank you. That Ministry of Ayush is doing so much for this. Lakshman, sir, any other words, sir?
Yes. Thank you, Dr. Sachin ji. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for accepted our invitation. I would like to thank Dr. Vaidya Manoj Nesari in this time. Because of him only, I invited you. Thank you very much, Sachin ji.
Thank you.
For your kind information, Sri Amarjit Singh Bamra, founder and Secretariat of United Kingdom, All Party Parliamentary Group, Indian Traditional Science. Our Honorable Prime Minister opened Yoga Center of this Bamra, Singh Bamra, in All Party Parliamentary Group in United Kingdom. Amarjit Singh Bamra only inaugurated our session with chief guest Dr. Manavalan, Joint Director, Government of Tamil Nadu, Principal, Government Yoga and Naturopathy Medical Science Hospital. Sachin ji, why I am saying these kind of things to you? We because of Ayush only, we have started this conference this year. Last year we have conducted yoga conference, but this year we are conducting necessity of Ayush. We have planned to start new courses with the joint venture of Ayush. This is kind of information. We will come and meet you in Delhi. We management people and the directors level people will come and meet you in Delhi.
Yeah, definitely, you're welcome.
Okay. Babu sir, any
Yes, sir. Thank you, Dr. Sachin Kumar sir, for your presence and acceptance on the busy schedule. And your session was very awesome. It explained about the initiatives of Government of India under Ayush Ministry in this, such a pandemic situation. We heard about a few things in the newspapers and media, but from the word of mouth from the expert, the activities, it gives us a strength for us. Just you said a key point away. Improve your immunity. That's a key point we should take away from here. Improve your immunity. The disease may come and go. The virus can rechange itself, whatever thing. Once we are strong and improve your immunity, we can face hold anything. And the supportiveness of the government, which has taken a larger step, we should salute the government of India and the effective people behind them, as you as a key persons. Thanks for your presence, sir, and thanks for organizing support in organizing this event. We hope to collaborate with you in many occasions, as like Lakshmi once had said about new courses and new curriculums and like in value-added courses like collaborative sessions. We have been interested also in research, as our universities and technological university, medical technological university. We are very strong in medical field and also supported by engineering. So we also pharmacy, physiotherapy, almost the collaboration of all the departments of the deemed university. We wish to collaborate with you. We need your support, sir. Thanks for your presence, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Dr. Abdul, do you have any questions to Sachin, sir? Already you have been trying. Please, please unmute yourself. Dr. Abdul, please unmute. Unmute yourself.
Abdul sir, kindly unmute yourself. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Please
Yeah.
go ahead.
Okay. Now. Well, I think what I would like to say is that I listened very well to Dr. Sachin Kumar, and I'm pleased that the ministry is doing a lot to create more awareness and to also, what would I call it, inclusive. Because what we ask ministers to do is be more inclusive in their policies, in their ways of doing things. And I believe when you're inclusive, which means you bring society along with you, because at the end of the day, you need the society to be able to carry your policies. And I would want to see how we could, the ministry, because in Africa and Asian countries, some other Asian countries, particularly Africa, let me talk about Africa now. You know, even here in the UK, even in the US, because India is like, what would I call it? Every country has what is called the culture about tourism. I think yoga is part of something sellable from India to a lot of countries outside India, because a lot of people can more benefit. So I would want to see how our organization can work with the Ayush Ministry and also the ICCR to be able to help and support a lot of countries to be able to promote Ayush. So probably if I'll be asking a question of whether it's just a statement, you know, that maybe I'll put it straight a question to Dr. Kumar. Are there possibilities that you're working not just within India, but you also, just like tourism does? And one thing, if you said you're working closely with ICCR, so initially it was like, why ICCR? It's about cultural relations, you know, but it's about health, you understand? But I'm glad that you're seeing beyond just health. You're seeing Ayush, yoga, as something that is sellable outside India to other countries. And that is helping. You know, we know that India is very good about health now. A lot of people in Africa, they travel to India, even from America, from Britain, some go to India for treatment. So then that is on medicine, but also on what we say that yoga, which you don't need medicine, but it could help you to keep your immune system. So could I say that you are looking at it from that angle by working with ICR and Ayush? Are you looking outside India? And if you're not, will you be willing to look at outside India? And I can tell you that our organization can give you very, very straightforward, very good proposals, which you can look at and see how we can extend, you know. And mind you, we are always looking at cost effective, because most ministries, most organizations, when you come with an idea, the first thing they think about costs. And without idea, money is useless. So what I'm saying to you is not about, we know how to get money for anything we want to do for the public. But what we say is that to collaborate, and then we can give you a proposal on how the cost can be taken care of. So because we believe a lot of private sector who will be willing to support such good ideas, so that at least within 2, 3, 4, 5 years, what I also said earlier, how we can ensure that schools, primary, secondary, whatever, can, you know, start practicing yoga. These are possible things. So maybe I hear from the horse's mouth. What do you think, sir, on the possibility of seeing yoga as a marketing tool, or not a marketing tool, but a product that India, because everybody, when you talk yoga, is an initiative with India, so everybody knows about that. That's a fact. So how can we now see how we can market yoga for the benefit of other people in different countries, particularly Africa, or even in America or in England? How can we, possible for us to work together?
First of all, Dr. Abdul, your suggestions are well taken, and I assure you that the suggestions submitted by you, I'll be discussing it with the senior officials of the ministry, and we will try to plan some tangible outcome out of your suggestions. Secondly, I would like to inform you that Ministry of Ayush has signed 22 country-to-country MOUs for the promotion of Ayurveda, yoga, and other traditional systems of medicine across the globe. And Ministry has also established 13 academic chairs in various universities in other countries. So Ministry has taken many initiations for the promotion of Ayurveda yoga at the international level.
Right.
Thank you.
Well, if I can I come back?
Please.
Yeah, you just mentioned about 22 countries. Could you just say what countries and what areas are these countries, and how long was this, and how far as whatever ideas you're bringing, how far have they gone?
That particular work is dealt in international cooperation section. So I'm not very much aware, not very well conversant with the name of the countries and what actually they are doing with the countries. You can get back to me personally later on. I will let you know the details.
That would be great.
Thank you, Doctor.
That would be great.
I will connect Dr. Abdul. I will connect
Yes.
Dr. Sachin Kumar to you. Don't worry. You can contact him personally. He will explain other things.
Okay.
Thanks, Dr. Abdul. Thank you very much, Dr. Sachin Kumar, sir. You are passionate about your profession. Really great honor to us. So, Dr. Vijendra Babu, sir,
Yes,
can you have any?
Yes, sir. It was a wonderful occasion, sir. We have an international stalwart, and we had an eminent person from the Ministry of Ayush. It was a collaborative session. It was informative and more takeaways. Thanks for them to happen here, and we hope for a future collaboration with us, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Definitely. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, thank you, Dr. Abdul, sir. Thank you, Sachin Kumar ji. Thank you very much.
I hope we can have a photograph so that we can switch on the audio. So, dear participants, kindly switch on your audio. We can have video. Sorry, video. Apologies for that. Dear participants, kindly switch on your video. We can have a snapshot photograph.
Everyone for making this program successful. I would like to thank you once again for making this program an event a grand success. Thank you all. I wish you all the best. Take care.
Okay, so maybe network issues, I think so, sir. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. J.W. Ravindra. Thank you all. We are very much happy to see you all with us.
Yoga Master,
this faculty development program, moving to master science in technology. Thank you all. Thank you very much. You will be receiving your certificate soon. Stay with us. Stay home. Stay safe. Thank you. All of the participants are requested to leave the platform.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Babu sir, and thank you, Sachin sir, and thank you, Abdul sir, for making this happen. And it's a great honor to have you all today, and it was really informative for us. And Lakshmi sir, any other last words, sir, before winding up? Lakshmi sir, please unmute yourself, sir.
Dr. Abdul just joined. Please make one photo, no?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. Uday Ganga, please.
It is only afternoon session. Can you please? It was posted in the morning session. If you want, we'll post it now. Okay. I request Mr. Pathur Naresh to please please post the feedback forms in the chat box.
Okay, sir. Done, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you for the wonderful session. Very informative session. Sachin sir and Abdul sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Participants, please hold on. We have our next session by tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock. It's our valedictory section.
I would like to invite you both, both eminents, Dr. Abdul sir and Dr. Sachin sir, for our valedictory session, yoga day session.
Yeah,
Okay.
please join us tomorrow, 10 o'clock.
Sure.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Sachin sir.
10 o'clock your time.
Yes. Your time is 3 o'clock.
What time? What time here?
10 a.m. IST. Your midnight, I think so.
Yeah. I wish you all the best.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Somna ma'am. Thank you, Dr.
Thank you
Somna
very
ma'am,
much.
and other international participants. Thank you very
Okay.
much for your cooperation and presence. We are expecting you
welcome.
all tomorrow, our valedictory session. It will be very useful session for you all, because MSME Principal Director will be a guest of honor. Dr. Sivakumar, IPS, Superintendent of Police, Enforcement, Tamil Nadu government has accepted for chief guest. Parallelly, we are conducting yoga competition for 6 to 60, both female and male candidates. The result will be announced tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. Masters, yoga master, Sudhakar sir. Sudhakar sir. Janaki ma'am. Okay. Janaki.
Shall we
Okay.
close?
Yeah, we can. We will close. We will close, sir. No problem.
Thank you, participants. We'll meet you all tomorrow, 10 a.m. This time. Thank you all.
Thank you, Babu sir. Thank you,
Thank you, sir.
Karthi.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Sam, for your wonderful coordination. Thank you, sir. Thank you. We are expecting the same coordination tomorrow, end of the day, no?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
We'll-
Thank you.
We will do, sir.